Good dad day, everybody. Welcome back after 3 very long weeks without dad talk. I am so sorry it's taking me so long to get something out. It has been a whirlwind of the last couple of weeks. I can't even tell you, but one of the things that I want to show you right off the bat, and I'm sure you've already recognized it, is the beautiful poster that we have behind me. Um, if you can, uh, pause the video and zoom in a little bit. That QR code there is to our TikTok. This one over here is to the Instagram, and you are already on the YouTube page, but just in case, that is the QR code for the YouTube page. So I'm going to post a picture of this up on our Instagram. I'm also going to post a picture of it up on our TikTok, and I'm going to post a picture of it up on my personal Facebook so that everybody can follow and get the full scope of what we're doing, or at least trying to do. I have not updated the Instagram in a long time. I'm going to get to that. The TikTok is on fire right now. We have somewhere close to 650, almost 700 um, followers, which is awesome. Still working towards that thousand so that we can go live. Um, but yeah, just had this brought in today actually. I was kind of hoping it was going to happen last week and I was going to record the video and the podcast and get something out, but it didn't come until today. And let me just say that it's because Vistaprint is absolutely terrible at what they do. Um, they did mess up a few things on here. Um, they messed up the order. It came late. I mean, I'm talking as many things as could go wrong with the order went wrong. And although they did try to rectify it, I mean, it's just a terrible experience. I will tell you right now, I will never use Vistaprint again. I will find whoever, wherever else I can, and go with them. um, so first, I want to let you guys know that um, yes, it has been 3 weeks since an episode has come out. However, this is not because I didn't want to put one out. Let me tell you that when it rains, it pours, and it has been pouring down rain in my life right now. I am currently nursing a hamstring injury. I tore almost all the way through my biceps femoris, which is the outer one of the outer muscles in your hamstring. Tore that son of a bitch almost all the way off playing softball. So not doing anything crazy, just sprinting down the first baseline, and all of a sudden heard the pop, felt the pop, and still beat out the throw. But yeah, it was really rough. Um, Also, I have been sick, and I'm sure you're going to hear me sniffle and cough, and I'm probably going to clear my throat a few times. Um, the little one's been sick. We've had visitors. Um, we're house hunting. We're looking to buy a new house out here in Texas, and just the everyday stresses of life with work and family and everything else going on. It has been extremely difficult to find time to sit down. So it is currently almost 9:30 with me recording this right now. Probably not gonna finish up and get everything edited until 11 or 12. Then I do have schoolwork to do because I went back to school. And let me tell you, life is just rolling right over me. I miss being on here. I miss doing the podcast. If I don't get it out every 2 weeks at the minimum, I really feel the strain of not being able to kind of express what I'm feeling at the moment or things that I'm thinking. Um, getting that getting that out to other dads and other people out here that are listening is very, very, very important to me. And so when I don't get a podcast out, it really affects me. So today is it's going to be a little different. We have an awesome review. I know this is going to look very plain. This right here is one of the coolest, like koozie cups, I guess you can call it, that I have ever used in my entire life. It's from the Husky brand, and in the YouTube video, I will post a link um, so that you guys can pick one up if you choose to do so. But inside this beauty, I have a very interesting beer that I bought and is absolutely delicious. And I'm sure you can read it here. It's the Fubar by 5 by 5 Brewing, which is a Texas made, veteran owned and operated brewery, 5 by 5 Brewery here in Texas. If you guys are listening, if anybody knows anybody that works there or whatever, this beer is amazing. And I will continue to drink it because it's great. But the koozie is what we are going to talk about today, and it's not just any normal koozie, and I'll get to that. Um, excuse me. So with that, I want you guys to understand that I'm not giving up on the podcast. Okay, I'm not stopping. We're full speed ahead. I'm trying to secure some sponsorships. I'm trying to get more people to follow. I'm trying to get more people to listen. I really, 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 really need your guys' help to spread the word. If you like what you hear, if you enjoy listening to the podcast, if you want to see more reviews, I got a bunch of stuff lined up for the next couple of weeks. I have a really cool lighter that it's definitely a dad lighter. I have some tool stuff coming up. So if there's anything that you guys want to know about, if anything you guys want me to review, anything you want to talk about, let me know. Also very excited. Coming up here on excuse me, Thursday, I believe the 10th. Tomorrow's Tuesday the 9th and 10th. Yes, so May 10th, I will be attending the Google I/O, which is their like yearly uh, breakout, where they talk about all their new tech and all the new stuff coming out. So I'm going to be attending that. I'll review it. I'll talk about some of the cool stuff that I got to see. Talk about any new stuff that's coming out, which there is some new stuff. I'm sure if you follow tech, you've heard the news about the Pixel Fold, which looks really cool. I really, really, really hoping to get my hands on that. Um, but yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But more importantly, today's topic is going to be kind of just go with the flow. There's a lot of things I want to touch on, a lot of important things. So let's get into it. All right. So today's topic, what I really want to talk about is how life sometimes can just drag you as far down as you can possibly go. It will grab hold of your feet and pull you down into the abyss like you would not believe. And I'm not just talking one thing. I'm not just talking one heavy duty thing. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 heavy duty things, all weighing on your mind, all weighing on your heart, all weighing on your family, and it just will not let up. Um, I think I've mentioned before that I have some other health issues that I'm dealing with right now. Aside from that, I have this injury now in my leg. Aside from that, um, I'm going to be quite candid with you guys. I deal with anxiety, depression. I don't really sleep all that well. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on, and it just kind of compiles onto itself. And it's almost like you're fighting to keep your head above water daily. And the crazy thing is that people will constantly ask you, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And it's the weirdest thing because the first thing out of my mouth is always nothing. Oh, nothing. I'm fine. I don't understand that. And we've talked about this before, and I've touched on this before about how it's a societal thing that men are just kind of programmed to say, "Oh no, it's okay, I'm fine." When in reality, we're not. We are as far from fine as you can be. Um, luckily, um, there's something that sits in my head that just keeps telling me, not to get cliche, but it keeps telling me just take the next step. All right, you took that step. Okay, take the next step. All right, you took that one. Okay, take the next step. And it's just like that every day, almost to to the T. And what I mean by that is I literally take a step out of my car and I just want to turn around and sit right back down. And it's my brain telling me, nope, close the door, grab your bag, head inside, get up those stairs, or coming home, go inside, clean up, start dinner, do whatever you got to do, watch the baby or, put on a movie for the baby or whatever. My brain is telling me to do these things every single second. And it's not because I don't want to, it's not because I don't love my family. Excuse me. It's not because, I'm lazy. It's just a struggle sometimes to pick your head up and just keep moving forward. There's a lot of things that I'm really fighting. Um, a lot of different things that I'm really fighting, a lot of things that I'm trying to just push to the side. And that's really what I'm doing. Uh, I started playing softball and it was great. I got out with a great group of guys, um, dudes that were very friendly, welcomed me in, even though they had been playing together for years. Um, and it really felt good to be part of a team again, even if it was something small. Like I just said, it's just softball, right? Uh, but it felt good to be part of that, and you don't expect anything to go wrong, which is really, really, really weird. Why don't we expect something to go wrong? I mean, Murphy's Law, right? If anything can go wrong, it will. I don't understand why we don't think things will go wrong. Anyway, right at the peak of just everything's going good, I'm playing, excuse me, I'm playing almost every week. I'm having a good time. These guys are having a good time. We're all playing. And then the injury, the hamstring. It couldn't just be like a pull, it couldn't just be a strain. It had to be a tear. It had to be something that was going to keep me out for, I mean, shit, as long as you can push. The second it happened, I went back into the dugout and I was fucking pissed. When I tell you I was upset, I was thoroughly upset. Give me one second. I was very, 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 very mad. And I was mad not just at the situation, I was mad at myself. I was mad at myself because I knew that I was running fucking weird. I knew that I wasn't striding right. I knew I wasn't running on the toes. I was running very flat foot. I was trying to beat out the throw, which I should have just let it go, and I didn't, and I tore it, and things would have been so different had I just relaxed a little bit. And that kept going through my head. And I kept getting more and more down on myself. Like, you're an idiot. You're fat. You're out of shape. You're, fucking useless because now these guys have to find somebody else to fill your spot. Like, you let the team down. You're letting everybody, and it's just, it was like one thing after another just going through my head. So much so that when it happened, I didn't want to call my wife to let her know what was going on. I just wanted to keep it to myself. I wanted to go home and just pretend like nothing happened, ice it a little bit, hope that things would just get better. And I'm telling you, the amount of pain that I was in was insurmountable. Um, so I called my wife and I let her know what happened. And on my way home, I called her and I let her know. And she told me later that she was angry with me about it. She was like, you don't have any business running. You don't have any business sprinting. Why are you even playing softball? And the hit to my ego, the hit my ego took when she told me that, uh, I can't even explain it. Um, I don't feel like I'm old. I'm 37 years old. Yes, I have injuries pertaining to things that I did in the military. I have injuries from car accidents that I've been in. I've got injuries from different things that have happened while I was either training in the military or after the military or whatever. Um, all these things going on, and it hit me afterward that she was 100% right, and it was almost like this defeat that I felt. I can't explain it to you. If you've never felt it before, it's really hard to explain. It's like everything that you have tried to do in your life has come to this point and you have failed. And there's no going back. There's no second try. There's no none of that. It just ended. And it's really, really, really hard to get through. That compounded on the fact that for whatever reason, uh, I have this weird failure to uh, process things in a quick manner. and my wife and I were going shopping for groceries, and I didn't understand where she wanted to go. So I misunderstood, and it turned into an argument, and then it turned into a bigger argument because I was already upset about her telling me I shouldn't have been playing softball, and she was upset about the fact that I was playing softball and that I got injured, and she felt like everything was going to end up on her, like having to take care of dinner and the kids and everything was going to end up on her, and we just had this huge blowout. Um, of course, after we've both calmed down, we kind of started thinking about it more logically and expressing how we were really feeling, and which is not something I can do well in the moment. In the moment, I either shut down or I walk away or I just dismiss altogether. Um, and that's just one more thing that starts to pile on. Um, it's it's really a shame that my entire life has been, don't talk about your feelings, don't show emotion, uh, hold everything down inside, because then when you really feel heavy stress, then when you really feel sad about something, when you really feel depressed about something, you can't just let it out. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Um, it'll just pop out at a random time. That's unfortunate. What I mean by this is, after I found out, of course, or after I realized that it wasn't just a strain and I was going to need to have something done to my leg. Um, of course, I went to the VA for treatment. I was sitting in the VA. I texted my mother because she's always concerned about my health. Uh, and I let her know, I said, tore my hamstring playing softball. I'm here at the VA. I'm getting everything checked out. This is the length of time they're saying it's going to take to recover. This is where I'm at. I'm getting a checkup on the other thing too, but this is what's going on. At what I can tell you is one of the lowest points of this entire year, um, mentally, physically for me. She sends me a text message that just reads, "I am bringing my daughter to Texas this summer." The amount of instant joy that I felt when she said that could not be measured. Um, it was it was so hard to maintain composure in that moment. I was sitting in the middle of the VA and I start getting all teary eyed and I couldn't understand what was going on. I was so happy about it. I was very like, I mean, just over the moon. I can't tell you how excited I am to know that my daughter's coming out here for summer, for even, I think it's just a week, but that hasn't happened in the 4 years that I've been out here. She has never been out here. This will be the first time in 4 years that she comes out here for a week. And it had made me so happy that I could not contain my emotion, and I broke down. Then I get called into the back for the nurse to see me, and they start asking me questions. Are you depressed? Are you this, that, and the other? And I start a breakdown. So now they're trying to get me to go upstairs to see psych. And I'm just like, look, I'm okay. There's just a lot of things going on, but I couldn't control it. And it just kept coming more and more and more and more and more. And I couldn't control myself. I couldn't compose myself. It was just uncontrollable. And then finally, it was like pouring out a cup of water. As soon as the cup was empty, I was right back to where I was before. Wiped my face, blew my nose, sat up straight, talked to normal. Everything was perfectly fine. It was just like somebody was overflowing the coffee pot, and now that it's been majority poured out, now we're good to refill it. I don't understand why we have to take it to that extreme. Why does it have to go there? Why do we struggle so much with just letting that stuff out? And I couldn't do it right now. I couldn't do it if I tried right now. I couldn't force myself to let it out right now. It has to pile on to the point that you cannot take it anymore for it to even come out the way that it did. The amount of confusion that I feel when that happens is overwhelming. So, Add to that the everyday stress of life, work stuff, family stuff, house hunting. So now you got a serious medical issue that you're dealing with. You got semi-serious injury that you're dealing with. You got life stress. You got an overflow of emotion because you don't know how to let your emotion out. You got house hunting. Okay. Too much. There's too much piled on to maintain. And so I got asked, how do you maintain? How do you keep moving forward? And I'm going to tell you my secret right now. I don't know. I seriously don't know. Um, I think I've mentioned before that I work in an office full of therapists, and I was talking to my boss, who is an awesome woman, and I honestly don't think I'd know as much about mental health right now if it wasn't for her and the people I work with. But um, I said it's so crazy. My coping skills or my mental ability, my mind's ability to cope with things is just crazy to me because it's almost like it sits there and processes it real quick, sorts it into how important it is, and then moves on to the next day. And she said, you know, everybody has a different way of coping with things. She said, but your coping ability is like superhuman. I don't think it's just me. I think it's majority of military members have this ability. A lot of us have it. And the scary part is that I know guys that are or were 100 times mentally stronger than I am that aren't with us anymore. Um, so it really makes you question, like, they hit their limit. What was it that made them hit their limit? And when is that going to be you? And I don't want this to sound super morbid, but that's a serious question in my mind. When am I going to hit my limit? And then when is that going to be me? When is somebody going to have to call my parents or call my kids or call my wife and tell them he's just not here anymore? It's a scary thing to think about. And it's a real thing to think about. And unfortunately, it's something that a lot of guys have thought about that are no longer here. I am doing my best to find the answer. I'm doing my best to find ways to cope. I'm doing my best to find ways to recognize those signs before I get there. But it is difficult and it takes a lot of work. Um, I can tell you that friends, my other dad friends, the dad group that I'm part of, the softball team, the guy, brand new dude came to the team, played with us. I played with him maybe twice, three times. Dude came to my house to check on me. He's an ex-military veteran as well. Maybe that was part of why he did what he did, but, it's people like that, it's the ones that you have around you. You have to put your pride aside for a second and reach out. Or if they're reaching out, put your pride aside for a second and allow them to help you. Because if you don't, there's no telling when you're gonna hit that limit and if you're gonna be here when you do. I know this isn't a fun thing to talk about, but it's a real thing to talk about. And unfortunately, I don't think it's talked about enough in a real way. I don't think people um, really express how close they are to this sometimes. Um, so, yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. Those are the things I've been thinking about. Um, those are things that I want to talk to other people about. I want to bring another dad on to possibly talk about some stuff. So, if you're listening and you really want to get on here with me, please let me know because bringing somebody else in to have a chat and do this with would be phenomenal. Um, so yeah, so that's our discussion for the day. Let's move on to something fun. Let's move on to something cool. Let's talk about that dad review. So I mentioned, excuse me, that this koozie cup was not just a normal koozie cup, and I was being honest. It is double walled, insulated steel cup. It has a very cool ring on the top. So double walled, insulated, a very cool ring on the top, and this is like a rubber band type of thing that really seals the beer in there. It's not just for cans; it takes bottles too. And one of the coolest things about this Husky brand is this cool little thing right here on the bottom. And I know you're saying, it's just a bottle opener. Yes, it is a bottle opener, but I'm going to show you what else it is. So we have the bottle opener here, right? If you look up from the side, you see this little slit right here, and there's another one on the other side right there. That's so that you can open a tab on a can. And then if you're a real sissy lala, there's a little piece underneath the bottom here for twist offs. So you can put it right on the top and twist it off. And the really cool thing about this is this little space under here, under the um, koozie, fits this thing perfectly, just like that. So you never lose it. You always have a bottle opener, you have a can opener, you have a baby twist off opener. And so I'm going to show you real quick how easy this is. Can goes in, boom, done. It's a tab. I don't have nails because I bite my fingernails. So I'm going to use the little can tab, slide it in, pop the top, done. Stick it right back in the bottom, and I'm good to go. Oh man, that is just too good. It's a red ale, 5 by 5 Brewing. If you guys get a chance, Battleborn, Texas made. If you get a chance, check them out. You can get it at HEB, and I'm assuming pretty much anywhere, but that's where I got it. I got it at HEB. This stuff is great. So I'm gonna show you guys this cool little video right here on the review. Now I don't know about you, but after a long day, I like to grab me a red ale by 5 by 5 Brewing. But for me, a cold one is the only way to go, and here in the great state of Texas, we need all the help we can get keeping our beer cold. That's why when I reach for a beer, I also pick up my Husky Cooler 2.0. Fits cans and bottles thanks to the elastic tight seal. A 3-in-1 opener built into the cooler, you never skip a beat when opening your beer. Made with aluminum, it's double wall insulated, lightweight, and easy to hold. The 3-in-1 opener includes a bottle opener, a tab opener, and a twist off opener for those Bud Light drinkers. Pick up your Husky Cooler 2.0 today, available on Amazon for the low price of $29.99. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that little review there that we had. Um, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you probably heard a pretty heavy duty skip there, and that's because the review was done separately with video and something else. So I'm hoping that if you're listening, you are more than happy going to YouTube to check us out on there so that you can see the review. You can see everything that we're talking about because I think that little koozie thing is a really cool little dad device. Um, we're going to end this here a little bit shorter, maybe a couple of minutes shorter than usual, but I think what we talked about was really important. I know people say this all the time, but check in on your fellow dads. Check in on your friends. Um, if you're suspicious that one of them is going through a tough time, reach out, and if they say they're fine, just tell them you know they're fucking lying. um, tell them that Big Dad Doc told you that they were fucking lying. Um, it's really something to just call a buddy up and be like, "Yo, man, you want to grab a beer?" Or, "Hey, man, uh, you want to go hit some balls in the fucking Top Golf or driving range, or you want to go smoke a cigar, you want to come over and hang out, play some darts or cards or something. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something small. And just that little bit of camaraderie can really pull you out of a place where you're just like, man, fuck all of this. Um, and I say that because I've been there. I say that because I've had guys do that for me. Uh, and I say that because I don't want to go online and see another brother down. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to sleep tonight and wake up with a text message saying that so and so, couldn't take it anymore. Those are some of the worst things that I've had to endure, and I really don't want anybody else to have to go through that. Um, Again, all of these QR codes, you should be able to pause and use them. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you don't have TikTok, shit, man, just download it and freaking follow me. You don't have to create a profile. Let me tell you, I was very skeptical of TikTok, but once it learns what you like, it's freaking it's pretty cool, man. I can spend some time on there just watching funny shit. Um, but yeah, TikTok is pretty cool. And as long as you're not putting anything crazy up there, as long as you're not divulging secrets and shit, who cares who the fuck owns the company, right? I mean, come on. Who really gives a shit? President doesn't give a shit. Anyway, um, we're gonna close out. I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you're sticking with us. Please, please, please pass this on to a friend. Please let me know what you think. I'm going to enable comments on the YouTube video. I don't know why it keeps disabling them. I'm going to enable YouTube comments. I always, always, always put my email address up in the description on Spotify. I'm going to do the same thing on the YouTube video. You can hit me up on there. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on TikTok, wherever. Please reach out and let me know if you want to tell your story. Please reach out and let me know if you're having a hard time. Let's, let's connect. Let's get together. Let's have a good time. Um, Again, hope you guys have a good week. Don't stress. And as always, stay frosty.